I want to bring on Eric Jackman to discuss this, political strategist and host of Jackman Radio Podcast. Eric, thanks so much for being with us. It's great to have you.
Oh, the pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much for having me on.
Of course. So, Eric, as a political strategist, what were your thoughts on DeSantis announcing on Twitter, and how do you think the event went?
Well, obviously he wants to try to appeal to very online people and online activists, and it was bungled. It was botched pretty badly. Did not go as expected and as planned. And I think also, of course, DeSantis will have a lot of egg on his face and his people, but I think also too, Elon Musk is going to come out from this with some egg on his face and looking a little bit diminished because he wants to offer up Twitter as an alternative to legacy media and mainstream media and have Twitter be the place where candidates like Ron DeSantis can go to launch their campaigns and speak directly to the people. So if something like a simple Twitter hangout here, or Twitter Spaces rather, crashes like we saw it happen, I don't think that's going to give a lot of confidence to other candidates who might want to do something like this. Now, of course, it was the first big one of these that he did, and it's going to come with its problems. But I think it just kind of fell flat, and it showed to me that maybe there's some people who were in Governor DeSantis's ear that put too much emphasis on social media and playing into the direction Elon Musk wants to take the platform.
Yeah, that is a great overview. I think you're right about that. And it's strange. I thought it was strange that he announced it on Twitter Spaces. I mean, there's so many options nowadays. It seemed like an odd choice. But did you think that DeSantis would ultimately end up running? I didn't really think he would. I figured he would know this is Trump's time again. And of course, now the big issue here is that Ron is probably the biggest Republican contender at the moment. Do you think this fractures the Republican Party? And when you think about it, whose agenda does Ron running ultimately serve?
Yeah, well, look, President Trump consistently is in the 50s in most Republican primary polls right now. I was looking at one of those polls that I'd been looking at. It's an interactive poll out of Quinnipiac right now. It's got Trump at 56 among 2024 candidates, and Ron DeSantis is at 25%. So those are kind of consistently where we're seeing the numbers. I know it's early right now and a lot can happen in the political world, but that fracture has already existed before Governor DeSantis announcing, and I knew he was going to run. I mean, he has all this money. He's got these super PACs puffing him up. He's made some trips here to my home state here to New Hampshire, and they did an event with him where you had to pony up like over $600 for a photo op with the meatball. And I couldn't justify that, because I go and meet everybody, Republican, Democrat, Libertarian. This is my 7th New Hampshire primary, and I like to go out and meet the candidates and see what kind of people here in New Hampshire are talking about and what they look for in a candidate. And when I heard that he wanted $650 just to get a quick photo op with him, I decided not to do that. Now, of course, not every event's going to be like that. But to me, that was just telling of a disconnect that he has here with regular, normal people. Yeah. And you hear these stories about him, eating the pudding in front of donors on a plane. And to me, Trump could say he's a meatball who's trying to learn how to be human. Okay. He's not quite sure how to be a human. And DeSantis to me kind of comes across as a automaton, kind of robot-like, and not really knowing how to interact face-to-face with people. So here in New Hampshire with the primary, we get an up-close and personal view of the candidates, and the cameras are on them. They're out with people in the wild, real New Hampshire voters who have real values and have real concerns about policy and issues that impact their lives. So it's going to be really interesting to see how the governor handles that. We know Trump. Trump is a known quantity. We know what to expect from him. And I have to give him credit. I think he handled himself incredibly well in that CNN town hall. Obviously, the timing of that was kind of crazy with the trial that was going on and the ruling the day before. But President Trump handled himself really well in there, and he gave the crowd what they wanted. He gave the MAGA faithful what they wanted. And he reminded everybody that when he's on the top of his game, he's a hard guy to get one up on.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.